Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to discuss steps that you should take after installing My Voice Business onto a My Voice EX controller. So what's going to happen is that you've got your EX controller and you have installed My Voice Business on it, and you have let the controller to go through the necessary steps for installing the software, which is beyond the scope of this tutorial. So when you have let the controller to go through its steps for installing the My Voice Business, is going to come to a point where it is going to say full deployment completed. You may reboot the EX controller. When we get that message, we are going to scroll to the top of the page where it is written reboot here. Where it is written reboot, then we are going to click there. Once we do that, the controller is going to reboot. Then we are going to wait until the controller finishes booting. When the controller has finished booting, we wait for services to start up. When all the services have started, the first thing that we are going to do on our controller is to log on to the server manager. After installing your My Voice Business software, please do not go to the My Voice Business ESM page, to the Sytsem Admin Tool. Please do not do that. This will be your second step. Your first step is to go to Server Manager. Very important to note that. Please do not go to My Voice Business Sytsem Admin Tool after installing the software. First of all, go to the Server Manager. So you go to the Server Manager by opening a web browser of your choice. In my case, I am using Firefox Mozilla. So when you open your web browser, you go to the address bar and you are going to type the IP address of your My Voice Business with a / server manager. In our case, we had an EX controller. This is the EX controller. It has an IP address which is 192.168.100.11. Inside that controller there is a My Voice Business which has been installed, and it has been given an IP address of 192.168.12. So when we are going to the Server Manager, we are going to take this IP address (192.168.100.12), and we are going to say /server manager, and this is what we are going to take and type onto our address bar like this. And of course we are going to click on advanced to accept the certificate, a lack of certificate or whatever, and then we are going to say continue to site. Once we do that, we are going to land onto this page. We are going to log on to the login page for Server Manager. So on this login page, our username always is admin by default, and we are going to use the default password. When you are logging in onto the server manager for the first time after installing your software, your password is default 1. So we are going to type that password here, and you are going to click on login. You click on login. Once you do that, it's going to prompt you to change the default password. To change the default password from default 1 to the one of your choice. Let's say in our case, I am going to use the password brick at open 8. I'm just going to choose this as my new password, and I'm going to repeat the password here, brick at open 8. And of course I have to confirm the old password by just typing password. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to click on update. Once I click on update, it's going to give me a message to say your password has been successfully changed. Then again I click on OK. Once I do that, it's going to return the login page again, but this time saying password changed, please log in with the new password. So I'm going to log in with the new password. I'm going to type my new password, which is brick at open 8, and then I'm going to click on log in. Once I do that, I am then logged in to the server manager. I am now logged in onto the server manager. As you can see, it's saying welcome to the server manager. So I can go ahead and start configuring this server manager, but if I don't have anything to configure right now, I'm just going to click here and log out. Now that we have logged out of my server manager, the next step is to log on to the My Voice Business ESM Sytsem Admin Tool. ESM stands for Embedded System Manager. This is where you configure the system from. So now that we are done with the server manager, we can now go to our step 2, which is logging onto the Sytsem Admin Tool. Remember, we said our first step is to log on to the server manager, and we are done with logging onto the server manager, where we have changed our default password to the new one that we wanted. So now we are going to log on to the Sytsem Admin Tool and also change password from the default to the one of our choice. Let's go ahead and do that. We will do that by opening the web browser of our choice. Again, I'm using Firefox Mozilla. This time around, we are going to go to the address bar of our web browser, and we are going to enter the IP address of our My Voice Business without the server manager part. we are going to just enter the IP address as it is without the server manager part, and then we are going to submit that. And what is then going to do is that we are going to receive this page, and we are going to use a username of system, which is the default username. And when we are logging in for the first time after installing the software, our password is password. So we'll type here password, and then we will click on log in. Once we log in again, we are prompted to change password. So we begin by confirming our password again, which is password. And our new password could be demo123. Demo123. We click on submit. And then we get a confirmation that password successfully changed. Remember to enter new password during the next login. So we are going to click on OK. Once we do that, we are then logged in onto the ESM, and we are going to select System Administration Tool by clicking here on this tab for System Administration Tool. Once we do that, we let the controller process that, and then we are logged in. This is the System Administration Tool. We are now logged in. From here, we can configure our My Voice Business parameters for it to operate the way we wish. The first thing that we should do when we get here is to check our licenses, if they have been licensed properly, and also to change the country in the licenses from North America to whatever applies to your country. But here in our region, we use United Kingdom. It is very important to make this change. And so once you have made this change, if at all you are changing from North America to United Kingdom, you will then be required to reboot My Voice Business. When you have reboot and then you come back and log in again, then the second step is for you to change this name. Do not leave the system with a default name. Change this name to what applies to your site or customer. For example, if this site was a Big Boy HQ, I should change this name to Big Boy HQ. And we change it from the voice network here. How to change the name is beyond the scope of this tutorial, but I can make another tutorial explaining how to change the name. So when you change the name, half of your problems that you might face in the future are resolved. Half of your problems get resolved by simply naming this controller. Some of the problems that you can get fixed is a CD, hot disking, and number 2, call history. It relies on the controller being properly labeled and the PBX being assigned a number. The controller being assigned a number for the site. Also very, very, very important. So that is all. So this is a summary of the steps that we need to take whenever we have finished installing our My Voice Business software on an EX controller. So number 1, we would have installed our software on the controller. Then number 2, we log on to the server manager first. We change the password. Then next, we log on to my voice business. We change the password. Then we will be done. That is all for now. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.